Today on Fluent Football, we are going to have a look at what Jurgen Klopp has to say about Liverpool's recent 7-0 win over Manchester United. We'll also have a look at the furious anger of Antonio Conte and Aleksandar Mitrović. We have a super quick grammar tip, and then I will tell you the 3 keys to success for becoming fluent in English. All that coming up on Fluent Football. Right, so this is a short clip of Klopp speaking in a press conference just after the 7-0 victory over Manchester United. So obviously he's pretty happy here. We will have a look at the clip and then we'll look at some of the vocabulary in it. So here we go, here's the clip.
Freak result, top performance. Really top performance from the start. I thought the way we started the game was really special. It was one of the best. For a long time we were there, we were aggressive, but we played football, we were calm in the right moments, super lively, super active. In other moments, after 25 minutes, opened up a bit. United came a bit better found a bit better into the game. But then the late goal before half time was a sensational goal, like the Robbo, what Robbo's doing there, cutting inside, and it's then really calm. What we actually were asking for, that we in these moments we have to give ourselves time to get into the right position, and then Cody realized it early enough that Robbo wants to pass the ball there, and a super finish. Second half starts like I don't think the second half could start better. With the 2 goals we forced there pretty much, and from that moment on the boys were flying, and then it was really difficult to play against us, and freak result.
Freak result. Freak has a few different meanings. Basically here it just means very uncommon. A 7-0 victory over Manchester United is very uncommon. That does not happen every day, so it is a freak result. You can also call a person a freak. However, this is an insult usually. Don't go around calling people a freak. It basically is a way of saying they're very weird, they're very strange, and it's not a nice thing to say. However, you could use it in a positive context, particularly when you speak about athletes, if you're speaking about football players. Erling Haaland is a good example of this. He's very big, he's very strong, he's very skilled, he's scoring an enormous amount of goals everywhere in the Premier League, in the Champions League. He's just scoring. So you could say that Haaland is a freak. He's a freak player, and in this case, it would be a good thing. But usually it's bad, so don't call people freaks.
Top performance.
Top performance. Top just means very good. So Klopp's happy with Liverpool's performance. Their performance is top. You can use this to describe anything really. A good player, a top player, a good match, a good game, top match, top game, a good goal, top goal. So you can just use it like that. It's not very common in America, I think. English people say it a lot. If you go to England, you'll hear it all the time. I think Americans don't use it too often, but they would definitely understand it. But anyone who wants to go work in England, you can just describe everything top. They like that.
After 25 minutes, opened up a bit.
Opened up. If you say a game opens up, it means before that moment, the teams were playing probably very defensively. They were not being very aggressive. There were not a lot of opportunities. And then the team started to become more aggressive and there's more chances at goal. So you would say the game opens up. For example, if you're describing a match, you could say, the first 20 minutes were a bit slow. There was only 1 opportunity. But after that, the match opened up and it finished 3-2.
The late goal before half time was a sensational goal.
Sensational goal. Very good goal. This goal was incredible. This goal was amazing. Or it was sensational.
What Robbo's doing there, cutting inside.
If you cut inside, usually this means you are the player with the ball. You are in possession, usually. and you will be dribbling on the wing. On the right or the left, doesn't matter, but you're dribbling on the wing, and then instead of continuing to the end of the pitch, you decide to turn and go towards the goal. So you dribble down the wing, turn, and cut inside.
From that moment on, the boys were flying.
The boys were flying. No, there is no aeroplane. They're not in the sky. Liverpool is not up in the air. It's got nothing to do with actually flying. Flying in this case is a common phrase to say they have a lot of momentum and they're performing very well, or they were performing very well in this match. For example, last time I checked, Barcelona were leading La Liga by 9 points. They're winning a lot of games, they're scoring a lot of goals, and they're doing very, very well. So Barcelona are flying. Liverpool were flying in this match, but they are not flying in the league. They're having a bit of a rough time in the league, actually. If you've got any videos, anything you would like me to review and explain the English from, explain some of the words, please comment below with the link. I'll have a look and I'll put something together for you. Cheers, guys. All right, guys, we are on the Daily Mail website. We're going to have a look at some of the headlines, some of the words and phrases that are used, and just discuss them a little bit. There is a link in the description so you can check that out for yourself. Here we go. First up, Fulham implode at Old Trafford. Aleksandar Mitrović shoves ref Chris Kavanagh in moment of madness against Man United, with Fulham shown 3 red cards in 40 seconds as they implode at Old Trafford and lose 3-1, having led. So it says Aleksandar Mitrović shoves. You can see in the video, shove means push, but it's a little more aggressive. If you shove someone, it's very, very hard, usually. You can see in this little video, this little GIF, that he does sort of have a bit of contact. There it is. I don't know if I'd say shove exactly, but you shouldn't be touching the ref. And footballers do this a bit too much, so probably good to get the red. Implode. So we've got it twice. Fulham implode at Old Trafford, and also they get 3 red cards in 40 seconds as they implode. Implode is the opposite of explode. If you have a bomb, the bomb explodes out. Implode means things sort of fall in. So if you think about the team as a very organized structure, you know, they've got this formation. Think of them as like a building, you know, set up and organized, and it implodes. It all falls down. That would be implode. Arsenal 4-1 Crystal Palace. Gunners, the casual common name for Arsenal in England is the Gunners. If you didn't know that, you probably do. Gunners move 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League. So if you go 8 points clear, that means you are at the top and the next team is 8 points below you. You are 8 points clear. I think it's the same for Barcelona in La Liga at the moment. Antonio Conte's Tottenham meltdown. Tottenham and Antonio Conte hold crisis talks following his explosive rant after Spurs threw away 3-1 lead at Southampton. So there's a couple of words here that are good to know. Meltdown. If you melt down, you have a big sort of emotional moment, a bad emotional moment. Either there's a lot of anger, a lot of tears, a lot of sadness, something like this. I believe with Conte, it's probably not tears and sadness. He's a very animated man. I believe he's had a very angry outburst. He's gotten very angry and yelled and said things. Tottenham and Antonio Conte hold crisis talks. So crisis means you're in a very bad situation. I think things are going very bad for Tottenham at the moment, following his explosive rant. So again, a rant, when you're very angry, you start yelling, you start pointing at people, and you did this, you did that, you're getting very angry. This is a rant. It's explosive. It's big. And then finally, Spurs threw away 3-1 lead at Southampton. Throw away, put something in the bin. So they had the lead, they were winning 3-1, and they threw that away. It's in the bin. Chip off the old block. The Rooney name continues to terrorise Manchester City as Wayne's 13-year-old son Kai scores for Man United to see off rivals in the Under-13 National Cup North Final. This is a good phrase to know, a chip off the old block. So if you have something that is similar between you and your father, so for example, if your father is known for being a very friendly person and you are also a very friendly person, then you are a chip off the old block. You're the same as your father. So it's the same thing here. Rooney's son, Kai, is playing for Manchester United, playing football, first of all, and creating problems for Manchester City. Sounds like his father, so he is a chip off the old block. And just one more over here. Saudi Arabia and Al Hilal are preparing a £194 million a season deal for Lionel Messi as they try to pit the PSG star against his old rival Cristiano Ronaldo. So if you pit someone against someone else, that means you put them in competition. So whenever two teams play, Manchester United versus Manchester City, Manchester United is pitted against Manchester City. It's a competition between them. So all they're saying here is if Al Hilal are able to get Messi into their team, he will be playing against Cristiano Ronaldo, so they will be pitted against each other, just like in the La Liga days. So there you go, guys. Those are a couple of the headlines with some words. Go on and check out those articles yourself. If you've got any questions about words, phrases, anything in there, comment below, send me the link, and I'll have a look and let you know. Cheers. Grammar. Who loves it? Nobody. Everybody hates grammar, and you should hate grammar. It's really boring. But sometimes you need to learn just a little bit. So we will look at a quick piece of grammar right now. Imagine your team is playing, but you don't have possession. The opposition team has possession. So your team is pressing very aggressively. Good stuff. Keep pressing. The opposition's fullback has possession of the ball. He's under a lot of pressure and makes a bad pass, makes a mistake. Your team gets control of the ball and manages to score a goal. Nice. Why did the fullback make a mistake? The fullback made a mistake due to the press. So what we're talking about here is cause and effect. Your team was pressing, this is the cause, and the fullback of the opposition team made a mistake. This is the effect. Cause and effect, very important when you're doing any sort of analysis for football. So here are a few more ways that you can talk about cause and effect in football. The striker was injured as a result of a reckless tackle. We played with a back five on account of their aggressive style of play. The player left the club owing to a lack of playing time. So there you go. There are 4 different ways to speak about cause and effect. Here is a little challenge for you. Try to finish 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of the following sentences. Liverpool are performing poorly due to Barcelona are killing La Liga as a result of PSG are out of the Champions League again on account of Arsenal are winning the Premier League owing to. So go ahead and comment below the end of those sentences to speak about the cause and effect. What does it mean to be fluent in English, and how can you become fluent in English? There are 3 keys to speaking fluent football like a professional, and I am going to explain those 3 keys in just a moment. Quickly, however, let's just look at that first question. What does it mean to be fluent in English? It's very simple. Let me tell you what fluency is not. Fluency is not having English just like a native speaker. Fluency is not having perfect grammar and never making mistakes. And fluency is not speaking perfect English with a perfect British accent just like the King of England. No, this is not fluency. Fluency, it's very simple. Fluency is clear and confident communication in English. So for a football coach, this might be on the pitch with the players, speaking to them, giving instructions, and creating relationships, creating bonds with the players. When you're doing this, you need to be clear and you need to be confident. If players don't understand you, or if they see that you're not confident when you speak, they don't have time for you. And there are many other situations where a coach has to speak clearly and with confidence. It could be in pre or post-match meetings discussing tactics and strategy. It could be in job interviews, explaining your philosophy, explaining your methodology in English. It could also be in media interviews after a match when you're speaking with the media, when the fans are all listening to you. That's a lot of pressure. Can you handle that in English? Can you do that clearly and confidently in English? Because you need to if you want to reach the top. And what about for an analyst? Well, it's the same idea. Analysts need to speak to the team as a whole. They need to speak to the squad, present their analysis. They also need to speak to players one-to-one. Sometimes tell a player what they are doing wrong. That is a difficult situation. And you need to be clear and you need to be confident when you're doing that. So that's what we mean when we say fluent English. And that's what we focus on here at Fluent Football. That clear and confident communication. So the second question, how can you achieve this? How can you become fluent in English as a coach, an analyst, or anyone else working in football? Well, like I said, there are 3 keys. One is your vocabulary. Words, terminology, phrases, all these sorts of things, whatever you want to call them, a strong, healthy vocabulary is your foundation. 2 is your pitch communication. You need to be very strong at communicating on the pitch, especially if you are a coach. 3 is your analytical communication, and this is important for everybody. Coaches, analysts, players, everyone needs to know how to do this. So those are the 3 keys. Those are the keys you need to start opening doors in your career. So go ahead and click the link in the description below to download my free PDF, and you can start your journey towards English fluency for football. The PDF goes over these 3 things in detail and tells you everything you need to know about them so that you can build on them and then you can speak fluent football. So, question of the episode. What's going on at Liverpool? What is causing Liverpool to get victories like a 7-0 win over Manchester United, who are playing quite well in the Premier League, and then losing to teams that are in the relegation zone or close to the relegation zone? What's happening at Liverpool? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your ideas. Please let me know in the comments below. That's all for me today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you found this useful. I will catch you next time on Fluent Football. Have a good one.